Since I'm slowly but surely moving toward my 50th and final YouTube comic review, I decided to look back at some of my more memorable, for one reason or another, reviews. I've had some positive and negative experiences with them, but I think I've learned a lot from them. I won't be focusing only on early reviews though, otherwise this entire list would just be that. So let's begin with March, my very first YouTube review. Also my first review based on actual events. Man, the images were choppy and the audio and editing were a mess. This was the first time I used GarageBand for my videos and it showed badly. I just didn't know what the heck I was doing back then. Well, I had to start from somewhere, right? So why not the bottom? Next, Stan Lee, A Marvelous Memoir, my most recent review. The review itself was uneventful, getting the graphic novel, however, wasn't. After seeing it first advertised in the issue of Entertainment Weekly, I decided to buy it online from Barnes & Noble. But instead, I got The Thug Cooking for Social Motherfuckers. That's insane. That's like ordering the latest My Little Pony comic and getting The Joy of Sex instead. Next, Kimagure Orange Road. This review was an experiment. It was a text over images with a music underlay. The reason for this was while working on the audio, I noticed the review became more and more negative to the point it became a rant, and it was almost 12 minutes long, and I still wasn't halfway done with that. This is the reason why I haven't put out my 2D versus 3D video yet. I just felt that the best way to go with this without seemingly being a dead horse after it was shot with a bazooka and then run over by a semi-truck. Next, Deadpool issue 11 volume 3 and Superman in Action Comics 775. These are two of my all-time favorite comics, and originally they were supposed to come out last December. I was going to dedicate that month to all my all-time favorite in various media, but it didn't work out scheduling wise. All things considered, it was for the best because I was able to release each video at the same time that their movies were coming out. Plus, with Action Comics 775, it fit in well for the Superman month that I was doing earlier this year. Oh, and a small hit, this won't be the only Superman comic on this list. Next, The Fifth Beatle, the Brian Epstein story. My second review based on true events. Still a bit rough audio-wise, but what was odd about this video is I uploaded to both my graphic description and DR Harris YouTube channels, but for some reason, the graphic description upload had no audio, only images, while the DR Harris one had both. What was even stranger was the graphic description one that didn't have any audio attached to it got more views. What's up with that? Next, One Punch Man. It's with this video where everything really started to come together for me. The integration of the music, the animation, and the editing finally clicked. This is my favorite review so far. While producing it, I felt that its flow was smoother than the previous reviews. It is a bit sad though that it topped out views wise over a year ago though. Epileptic. Another biographical story. This was my most personal review because I suffered from epilepsy for the first half of my life. And it may have affected me more than I thought, since there's a 3-year period where I remember next to nothing, and at various points of my life, I've suffered from blackouts. Anyway, this was a video I feel when I started to really get a handle on being more critical and objective in my reviews and was able to articulate my thoughts better. Next, The Flash, The Return of Barry Allen. The Flash is my second favorite comic book character and my number one DC comic book character, with The Good Captain being 1A. With the Flash TV series out, it gave me an excuse to finally review one of his stories. Something must have clicked because this is by far my most viewed review. That said, my favorite Flash is the Wally West one. This review was kind of a cheat since the story is called The Return of Barry Allen, but it's really about Wally. That said, this was a way for me to give Barry more screen time, and this also led me to doing the Trial of the Flash retrospective. Despite the ups and downs with that retrospective, it has inspired me to continue reviewing other Barry Allen stories. So once that's done, more Barry's on the way, and then finally Flashpoint, a review of both the comic and the animated movie. And finally, Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow. This is my most shamefully reviewed review. It's another early review. I still didn't have much experience in video editing, and it showed. The review was 12 minutes long, and 6 of them is either dead air, audio blips, and verbal stumbles. I would have just scratched this up as experience and then moved on with it, but then this past March I decided to do Superman Month, and I was gonna reshare this video review until I listened to it again. This is the only video review I've ever done a redo on, and most likely the only one I ever will do. There was a problem though. I lost my script and notes, and I apparently never uploaded it to my website, www.drharris.net. Please check it out, shameless plug. So I had to re-listen to that review in painful detail and jot everything down again. I did this because 1, I still feel the same way about the story, and 2, I'm currently unable to reach my copy of the story. What I did find a bit distressing about it is even after I uploaded the new version, the old version still outpaces it in terms of views. Why, internet? Why? Anyway, one positive thing did come out of this experience. I got to see how much I've improved over the last 2+ years. Well, that's it for now. Until next time, remember to read more comics and watch more animation that's 2D and stop motion. Venture on.